Hey everybody, Anish Majumdar here, career coach to the fiercely ambitious, and I wanted to tackle an issue that several people have been coming up to me on, especially in this kind of post-corona sort of environment, which is, Anish, things did not end well at my last role. Whether it was like a restructuring and you knew it was going to happen, whether you were blindsided by it, but whether you got that boss who just, with the added stress, it just did not, you guys did not part on good ways. There is no reference there to be had, whatever that reason is. It's been coming up a lot. And I think, the stressor of the time can make what should be a problem that you can look at and say, okay, how can I get past this? How can I extract the meaning, the learning from this, right? Instead of that, it exaggerates it and it makes it seem like it's completely hopeless. So I really want to let you know that no, if you are dealing with that, where you're like, look, I cannot lean on my last role, in this environment, how am I going to do it? You can do it. People are doing it all the time. That doesn't mean that it's the status quo for you. That doesn't mean that you don't have a plan for addressing it, which I want to quickly go over. I want to give you 3 quick tips here that'll really help. But it means that this is not some boondoggle that is going to drag you down, and a year from now you're going to be exactly where you started. Nope. Not if you commit to doing it a different way. Look at it this way. It's like a lion in the jungle gets attacked, right? In that moment, the lion succeeds as you did if you're dealing with a situation. As ugly as it felt in the moment, you survived. You got past it. You did the important thing, which was good, bad, or ugly. You got out of that because you knew that there was, this is a terrible outcome one way or the other. So you got out. But the question is now, yes, there are always wounds here. But the question is, will you allow these wounds to heal through taking the right actions? Or are you just going to crumple up here and just say, okay, that's it, forget it, pandemic, whatever, I just, I quit or I give up or I just accept something that I know is beneath me because I'm not willing to try for what I know I deserve, right? So the choice is yours, but I'm telling you that those who live amazing lives, they've got plenty of scars, okay? I've got plenty of scars in my personal life, my career, everything. Right? But they lend perspective and they're going to give you a wisdom and strength that you never thought possible if you get on the other side of this, if you take the learning, right? And there is always a learning to be had here. There are always lessons to be had in a bad outcome. The question is, can you own it, especially in this purpose? So 3 quick tips, okay? Number 1, I want you to frame the experience. I don't want you to rely on a resume or just a blank thing or just making it up or, winging it is the worst thing you can do. I want you to actually frame and own that experience, okay? Which means that I want you to write out the right way, like the main areas that you want to hit on when you're broaching this. I want you to think about ways to weave this in, even when you're not being asked. And I want you to own the fact that you guys parted ways. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is try to artificially make this like it was an amicable thing and it was great. And after 10 years, just randomly on a Tuesday, I decided to, no. This was something that had been building for a while. This is something that you can be honest about. Just as you can be honest with the successes, you can be honest about the fact that ultimately, the way that it was structured or different priorities between me and my boss or my desire to grow beyond what I could see here in the immediate future in the wake of that merger, it was limiting and it was clear, that things were going there. We still stepped up. I still made sure every member of my team was served. I still made sure all of that was there, but I knew. And so that's why, as scary as it is to leave after 7-8 years, I'm so thrilled to be exploring this and talking about this because it's time. This is the number one thing that I was missing there. So frame it. You can either frame it early in a conversation if there's a natural thing about what have you been up to. Well, I've been doing this. You can frame it when the talk goes towards your recent experience. However you want to do it, but own it as a decision you made at the end of the day, not something that happened to you. That's very, very, very critical. Okay. Number 2, own the outcome. The Is what happened to you there entirely a reflection of the last bit? Or is that merely an exit point to an otherwise great story? Every story ends, right? Every story, gets to a conclusion. But the question is, what meaning do we take from it? And so I want you to ask yourself, when you look at that journey, how much can you celebrate? How much can you look at that and say, wow, look at how amazingly I leveled up in my skill? We get so hung up in the bitterness and the anger that we lose the lesson, we lose the value, we lose the ultimate outcome. Our outcome becomes things ended poorly, so I'm screwed, right? The real outcome, the real value is every single thing that you did there, every moment that you had, that you stepped up, that you went beyond. And if that's what you did in a non-ideal situation, I want to plant the seed in your mind. What are you going to do when that barrier has been removed? This will be the greatest gift in your life if you let it, in terms of let's go, let's go. I knew that wasn't going to work, let's go. So I want you to own it. I want you to just write it all out, 50, 60, 70, 100, 150 reasons, everything. Get it all down so you can own the totality of it, because they didn't take that from you unless you let it, okay? So that's number 2, own the outcome. And number 3, use it as a line in the sand. Let me explain. If I am bouncing back from a startup experience that didn't work, we had a great idea, but it was let down by other factors. I'm going to obviously make incredibly sure that I'm not going to walk into that situation, but moreover, the really boss move is to own those negatives and to say, I'm standing as an advocate within any organization to ensure we don't make those mistakes. In other words, I've paid the price so you don't have to, and you can benefit from my wisdom. So I really want you to ask yourself also, everything that you disliked about that last position, everything that didn't work, everything that stuck in your craw, if you could do it differently, if you could be in the power to do it differently, how would you do it? And why is it important to you that happens? The underlying theme to all of this, right, is passivity is going to kill you when it comes to this situation. Own it. I would rather you swing for the fences and miss. You're going to ultimately go further in this game than you will playing small, because playing small means suspicion. Playing small means raising doubt. None of this happened to you. All of this was something that was part of a narrative, and even the adversity is something that you're owning as part of a greater set of who you are. And if anyone questions, and if anyone throws the resistance, use it as a crucial learning experience. We don't learn from our successes. We learn from our mistakes, our failures, and our setbacks. So this is a tremendous opportunity for you to not only learn and level up, but for any organization that is lucky enough to have a rock star or a rock star goddess like you, they're lucky enough to benefit from it. So that's the ownership that is going to get you to a place where this is not only not going to be a problem, it's going to be a differentiator in the best way. Can you do it? I'm throwing the gauntlet your way. And if you want to go further with this, I encourage you to go over to helloanish.com, where I have synced up and a masterclass I've just put together that is going to show you exactly the 5 major shifts that me and our fellow masterminders do to move someone into a zone where they're executing the job search without any of the traditional job search stuff, including having to defend, including having to make up stories or converse with HR and recruiters that aren't really interested in you. It's a way of claiming this in a totally different way. So if that's where you're at, I promise you it's going to be an excellent, excellent use of your time, okay? So that's helloanish.com, HELLOANISH.com. I encourage you to hop over there and connect with me on LinkedIn as well. I share daily tips and advice, and I want to get you free, and I want to get you abundant, okay? Truly. That's what changed it for me, and I never thought that would ever happen in my life. And me, my family, my kids, we're just letting you know it is possible for anyone. And if you're driven to learn in this way, it is absolutely possible for you, okay? So I'm wishing you a very, very good day, and thank you very much for learning with me. I'll talk to you soon.